Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. You're still watching Politics Tonight, digging beyond the headlines. And now to our interview with the guest of the day. I am joined by the chairman of the Mohua local government area of River State, Honorable Lloyd. He was the majority leader of the 8th River State House of Assembly. Lloyd was first elected into the State House of Assembly in 2003 on the platform of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, to represent a Mohua constituency and did 3 consecutive terms. Thank you very much for joining us tonight, Honorable.
Hello, thank you very much for having me.
All right. Now, let's start this way. Your decision to join the PDP came as a huge surprise to many people because you were fiercely loyal to the APC. Why did you join the PDP?
I rejoined. I'd like you to use the word rejoin.
All right.
Because the PDP was my original political party. And I did not just elect to leave the PDP. I'd like to put this in proper perspective. When in 2013, the issues of the crisis in River State came up, the PDP under Felix Obuah expelled 32 members of the River State House of Assembly, including my humble self, after it gave the party executive, having been enthroned by the courts in Abuja, gave us the ultimatum to recall the chairman of the Obiakpo Local Government Council that we had suspended from office, to wit Honorable Timothy Insirim. So when we did not do that, the Felix Obuah-led Executive Council of the PDP in River State expelled the two of us. So that was how we left the People's Democratic Party. I did not leave the PDP of my own volition. So we moved on with the then River State governor, as he then was, the Right Honorable Chibikero Amechi. We found succor in the All Progressive Congress. So I was a member of the All Progressive Congress from 2013 until 2020, precisely on the 24th of August, when I made a detour back to the People's Democratic Party. Because I understood that the governor of River State, the Honorable Dr. Ezenwonyeson Wike, was beginning to do the things we accused him of not doing. So I didn't want to continue in opposition. If a man you were criticizing had now turned a new leaf and is beginning to do the things you accuse him of doing, what was the need in continuing to accuse him of non-performance? Here is the governor who in 4 years had built 12 bridges. Today, he commissioned the 11th bridge, and so on and so forth. So yesterday, he was in Po, the headquarters of Gokana local government area of River State, to commission what can go for a polytechnic in River State. So I don't think, I'm not one of those who think that opposition should just be for the fun of it. That was what informed my decision to come back to the People's Democratic Party, especially when I saw that the APC had become a social club.
All right, Honorable Lloyd, you said you were expelled. So I would like to know, was there any reason given for your expulsion? And if His Excellency Nyesom Wike were not the governor of the state, would you have rejoined the party?
Well, I did say, if you were listening, that I gave the reasons why we were expelled as members of the River State House of Assembly, as we then were, especially as the leader of the River State House of Assembly that I then was. I participated in the suspension of the Honorable Timothy Insirim, who was then the chairman of the Obiakpo Local Government Council. He was accused of some malfeasance in office. That was what informed the suspension. So when the Felix Obuah-led committee, executive committee of the party, gave us ultimatum to recall the expelled chairman, the suspended chairman rather, to office, We felt that that was infra dignitatum. We felt that the executive committee did not hear from some of its own who are members of the Rivers State House of Assembly, as we then were. They didn't hear from us. They didn't ask why the chairman was suspended. They went hastily to expel us from the political party. And we could not have been without a political party in accordance with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended. So we sought solace in the All Progressives Congress, which was just beginning to which was at its embryonic stage. So that was what happened.
All right. So, when it comes to politics, Rivers is called Rivers of Possibility. Why is politics so dramatic and no nonsense in that state?
Well, I must confess to you that Rivers State is a state of possibilities, like you have said. We have become the first in so many things. Dr. Peter Odili, as a governor of Rivers State, as he then was, became the first golden governor of Rivers State. We had the first female graduate in Nigeria, a lady Owere Daba, who was the first graduate of chemistry from the University of Ibadan. We also had Dr. G.B. Leton, who was the original manufacturer of Obunigwe, and so forth and so forth. We also had the person of Nabogram Douglas, who was actually the first senior advocate of Nigeria, and later became the first Attorney General of Nigeria in the 70s. So we have become first in so many things. And this is a politically exposed state where a lot of persons have become politically aware. You couldn't have talked of Rivers State without the mention of the likes of the Honorable Sergeant Chidi Awuse, who is today a royal majesty, who is today a traditional ruler of the Emowa Kingdom. So that informed this early foray into politics, informed the reason why the state has become politically alert. And everything that happens here is in tandem with the current realities of politics.
Mm. So let's talk about some of the surprises and intrigues we witnessed during the 2023 elections, where the people of Rivers State voted different parties in the presidential and governorship poll. How were you able to pull this off?
Well, what happened was that we have a principal here, the Honorable Inyeso Mezewan Wike, who had led the state very well, who had delivered on his electoral promises, which is what politics is all about, delivering on the dividends of democracy. We had a governor who actually discovered new communities. For instance, in my local government, the governor discovered a new community known as Odido, where he had created a road for a community that had been over 100 years in existence, that had never seen a road. Today, my car was actually the first car that drove into the community after the governor opened up the place. And you also have a governor who was able to construct, to brave the Trans-Calabari Road that saw motor vehicles drive into communities like Krakrama, Sangama, Ilelama, and so on and so forth. These were communities in the hinterland of Akukutoru and Asaritoru local government that would not have had the opportunity of having any vehicle drive into that community. Once the water ebbs, whoever was going home, wherever you are, you stood still till the next day. So there is no way the People's Democratic Party would not have won elections roundly. And that I underscore that the emphasis is mine, roundly, because we have a governor who had led from the front. This is a governor that has been, in 8 years, changed the landscape of Port Harcourt from what it used to be. He had delivered on 12 bridges. Today, the governor of Benue State, Dr. Samuel Otom, commissioned the 11th bridge. And the 12th bridge, which is the Rumokuta Bridge, is almost 98% completed, and of course will be flagged off any moment from now. So there's no way the PDP would not have won elections here. And this is a governor up to today. I've not seen any of his colleagues since talking about project delivery. He's not just commissioning, he's still awarding projects and paying up. And it is a governor that has promised us that until the 29th of May, he will continue to deliver on the dividends of democracy. So what you saw happen in the presidential and gubernatorial election, respectively, was a payback. Communities came out, local government came out to pay back this wonder boy, as I call him, this new progenitor of Rivers State, this new pathfinder of Rivers State. It's not just improved project delivery, and I'm sure you will be shocked that I am saying all this, haven't been one of his armed critics. I say this because the truths are there, is visible to the blind and audible to the deaf. That this is a governor who has stood to defend the state. You recall that this is one governor that has been able to, in the Supreme Court, retrieve the oil wells which were hitherto credited to Imo State, and also retrieve the oil wells which were hitherto ascribed to Bayelsa State. So he's not just a governor in terms of project delivery, of course, and I cannot re-emphasize this, because even the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, General Muhammadu Buhari, had even attested, had even agreed, without minding the fact that he's a governor from an opposition party, to say that this is the highest governor in terms of infrastructural development. So what else do you want me to say? So like I said, it is visible to the blind and audible to the deaf that Nyesom Wike has led Rivers State very well and is bowing out with his shoulders very high, if there's any English like that. So I'm proud that I made a detour and I have joined hands early, quite early. The emphasis are mine with this precursor of a new River State.
So, also, as a matter of fact, the PDP has dominated politics of River State since 1999. What factors can you attribute this to?
Well, I will tell you that Sir Dr. Peter Odili actually laid the foundation in 1999 when he became governor of River State, and thereafter, without prejudice to the political shenanigans that were there, here and there, he handed over first to Sir Celestine Omeha, who spent just 6 months in office before the Right Honorable Chibike Rotimi Amechi took over. So the foundation has been laid, and River State is synonymous with the People's Democratic Party. Even when we left for the All Progressive Congress, we did not have the filial, we did not have the political spine, we did not have the desired leadership to pull River State, as it were, from what it was, what it is, the People's Democratic Party, to join us in this new voyage, of discovery. So River State continued and remained, of course, with the influence of, we also had it wrong when a lot of people in River State perceived that we did not support one of our own, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, in his second term bid at the presidency. So that became anathema to the fact that Rivers people continued to remain in the People's Democratic Party. This was principally, to my mind, the reasons where we got it wrong. Now, having gotten it wrong, we did not also show leadership. We also had a leadership which did not bring anything from the center. Having won the scepter, we also are aware, even as politicians, that when Nyesom Wike was Junior Minister of Education in the Federation, he brought the first ever Faculty of Law in the University of Port Harcourt. He brought a 500 million naira grant to the Kenule, Sarowewa, Kenule Beso, Sarowewa Polytechnic. He brought the Technology Polytechnic in Bonny, which is today known as the Oil and Gas Polytechnic, and so forth and so on. So when we went into the All Progressive Congress, and fortunately, one of us was made the Minister for Transportation. We cannot readily tell you what we brought, other than the fact that we removed the railways, the existing railways that were in Port Harcourt. We promised the single gauge, whereas we were building double carriage ways in other places like Maiduguri, Kestina, and all that. Even the single gauge we promised our state, we were not able to deliver on it. Rather, we removed the ones that were existing in Elewa and all that. So these were the things I saw, and I immediately made a detour because I did not sign up. I did not sign up for those kind of promises. I couldn't have made promises that I couldn't deliver. And I took solace in the Holy Book. Even you recall that even in the Bible, that when God told Prophet Ezekiel to go and tell Hezekiah to prepare his house, that he will die soon, Hezekiah said that this would not have come from God. And God himself told Hezekiah to put him to remembrance. And Hezekiah put him to remembrance, and God immediately ordered Ezekiel to go back and give Hezekiah 15 more years. And even the Supreme Court of America had overturned over 250 cases where it felt that based on new evidence, it recanted on judgments it gave earlier, and they freed the persons who had been wrongly convicted. So if God himself could reverse himself, who am I not to reverse myself? So I immediately took that decision when I got back from the University of Dundee, where I had gone for a postgraduate study, a postdoctoral study, and I immediately came back and did a volte-face and came back to my ex-wife friend, the governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, who I had missed for 6 years. And I thank God that he took me back without encumbrances. So I'm better off.
Fantastic. So let's also take it from this angle. Despite divisions in the PDP and the Labour Party ascendancy, you were able to retain power in the state. I know you have talked about how Rivers people had to pay back because they could see the dividends of democracy. But then how did you keep the Labour Party at bay?
Like I've always told people, politics is about structure. A lot of people fell for the social media frenzy of P2B, and I knew that as a politician of all over 2 decades, I knew that most of those who were shouting low P even did not have voter cards. And so when the chips were down, it was difficult to win a state like Rivers State. And when people say Labour Party actually won Rivers State and it was upturned, I asked them, how many senatorial seats do we have? How many did the PDP win? We won 3/3. We won 11 out of the 13 seats that have been so far declared. We won 32/32 of the seats in the Rivers State House of Assembly. And of course, we won the governorship election. How else do you want a man to show that he's in charge of a particular state? Look, don't be deceived by anybody. I'm a chairman of a local government. And here, I can tell you for free that Nyesom Wike is in charge here. Not because he's just not for the fun of it, because of the things he has done. So, for example, if Nyesom Wike as governor, for the first time in over 150 years, constructed a road crisscrossing Rumodogo 1 and 2 in my local government. Did a road to Odido, did a road between Apabo and Ebeda, where the mother of the former governor of Rivers State comes from. Nyesom Wike is currently constructing an internal roads in Ebeda. How else do you pay a man back?
But Honorable Lloyd,
for his
Honorable Lloyd,
benevolence.
Labour Party
So,
members insist
Rivers
that
State is PDP. You can take that for free.
Honorable Lloyd, Labour Party members insist that the elections in Rivers State were rigged. Did your party rig the election?
Well, I take exception to that. I hold a PhD in law, so I know the position of the law, and I know what the Electoral Act and the Constitution says about rigging. And of course, you know my pedigree. I will not find myself in anything that is untoward. There is no way you could have rigged. And let me also tell you, in politics, you cannot rig in a place where you are not popular. Only the majority can rig elections in a particular unit. So how old is the Labour Party to come and win an election in Rivers State where we have a Toknadu governor, we have a political strategist? I'm still looking for words to describe the person of Dr. Nyesom is a 1 week. So talk is cheap. The Labour Party people can go into a frenzy, the social media frenzy that they are caught up with. There is no way any political party. Now, what you ask yourself first, how many of the seats that are contestable did they field candidates? How many senatorial candidates did they have? How many House of Representative candidates did they have? And of course, how many House of Assembly seats did they field? And of course, who is the gubernatorial candidate of the Labour Party in Rivers State? We are not like others. We are in a state where our governor has shown leadership. And of course, we followed him. Were it not so, I will tell you that it is not so. You know my pedigree over a period of time. I'm a man who is a stickler for the truth. I will tell you the truth, no matter whose horse is down.
So, apart from the Labour Party, APC, I'm sure you're aware that APC has decided to take your party to court. Toyoko says your party is not as popular as they want us to believe. How will you respond to this?
Ordinarily, I wouldn't have responded to that because I know that was my erstwhile political party, and I was in 2019 the Director General of the campaign of the fellow you named. I know how it is. There is no way Tony Cole will become governor of Rivers State from Lagos. I'd like to ask you, first, does he speak his language? Does Tony Cole speak the Calabari language where he comes from? No. I would like to ask you, the Tony Cole school in any of the schools in Rivers State? The answer is no. Does Tony Cole have any friends in Rivers State? The answer is no. I would not like to give credence to the fellow known as Tony Cole because he doesn't exist in Rivers State. He's not from here. So that the Rivers people spoke and we spoke loudly. There is no way. Imagine that the PDP the governorship candidate elect can give Tony Cole 100,000 votes and still win him. Even in his local government, in his unit. So if we rigged in any other place, did we also rig him in his unit? Did we also rig him in his local government? Talk is cheap. Now he says he's looking for certified true copies of whatever documents he's looking from INEC. And I hear he said the PDP have come to block the place. And you say you won. Where are the people that voted for you? Call them to come and chase those. Those who you defeated ought to be in minority. Where are they? I don't want to discuss Tony Cole because he's a man I have a lot of respect. Because I hear he's a pastor of the Redeemed Church. But this is not church. This is politics. And he's not one of us. We've looked around. We have not seen him. The Bible says, Jesus I know, Paul I know, who are thou? He has not answered the question. Even when I tried as much as I could to market him to Rivers people, I still had encumbrances because he couldn't communicate with his people in their language. And you have a man in person of Simunalaye who is from Opobo, who speaks Opobo, who eats Isamfulo, who eats Ekerepoi. The Opobo people understand what I'm talking about. Even the gubernatorial candidate himself knows what it means when I say he came na go ban a gato. That the Potoyego will not understand all that. He even has said that he had elevated Isiobo to be a local government in one of his campaigns. But in all honesty, I respect him. He's a successful businessman, and I would like him to go to his business. This is politics, and leave politics for politicians like us. I was his director general in 2019, and I left. I'm sure he misses me.
All right, but Honorable Lloyd, are you in any way worried about losing your electoral victory at the tribunal?
There are things that can happen. The tribunal is not a place, it's a temple of justice. And as a lawyer, not just a lawyer, I hold a PhD in law. I know that facts are sacred. There is no way anybody who did not prepare for an election will win. If the elections in Rivers State were cancelled 250 times, the People's Democratic Party will continue to win. What would happen is that we will have more votes than we had, because all those who live around Dumboba today, who probably did not have the opportunity of voting for the PDP candidate, will come out now and vote. Those who were on that day in the hospital or had headache or couldn't come out or were on night duty will now have the opportunity of coming to vote for Sim Fubara. Now we will have more votes. If anybody tells you, I can bet my right arm, to think that any other political party will defeat PDP in Rivers State will be like what the Frenchman calls nous attendons le Godot.
Honorable Lloyd, I'm wondering what gives you so much confidence, given that in the game of
politics,
politics,
I am a consummate politician.
Happen.
I was in the All Progressive Congress. I'm now in the PDP. So I know what it was, preparation. And I've also said to all those who care to listen that politics is not an event, it's a process. The governor of Rivers State, from inception, had prepared to bring a successor. And Ezewan Nyesom Wike is the first in the history of Rivers State that has produced seamlessly a successor in office. And he knew that there was only one thing to do to achieve this feat, was to deliver on the dividends of good governance. And Lloyd Nyesom Wike, like Nyesom Wike, you will agree with the fact that he has actually delivered on the dividends of good governance. Even his critics, even the opposition political party, the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria had conferred this title on him. Who am I to disagree?
All right, we're discussing Rivers politics this evening with the chairman of the Mohua local government area of Rivers State, Honorable Lloyd. This discussion will continue after this break. Please stay with us.